Hey friends, it's me, Scott. I got an update for you. I got some exciting news. Let's go. No, the exciting news is not my haircut, though if you asked my wife, she would totally say that's the exciting news. But on to the real topic of today's episode. I would like to introduce you to the Two Button Crew podcast, made possible by our patrons on patreon.com/twobuttoncrew. We are launching a podcast. I know you have a lot of questions. When does it launch? What is it about? How often is it updated? Who hosts the podcast? How awesome is it? I'll answer those in reverse order. How awesome is it? Super awesome. What was the next question? I can't remember. But here's what I'll tell you about the podcast. It's going to start out monthly, and it's our first Patreon milestone. And as we get more patrons, we can increase the output regularity until it's coming every single week. So one of the most exciting pieces of news about this is that we already have the entire first episode recorded, edited, and ready to go live. It is literally ready to drop the day that we cross over our first Patreon goal threshold. How close are we? Super close. We just need 1 or 2, maybe 3 more patrons to help us cross this goal. And really it all just depends on which bracket, which level you guys choose to sponsor us at. And it goes from $1 to $15. I recommend the $5 level. That will get you almost all of the benefits, including being in all of our credits at the end of each video, helping us decide which next videos to create, and what you really want is the exclusive videos. So that's the $5 level. Just need a couple of those and we will smash this goal. We will drop the podcast, and the first episode is all about Breath of the Wild. And it was an incredible show. It had myself, Simeon, Ryan, and Glenn. We had all beaten the game. We talked all about it. And it's such perfect timing because the DLC for Breath of the Wild, the Master Trials, that's coming out like this weekend. Yeah, this podcast goes perfectly into that. We talk about what we're looking forward to and the DLC. So I'm going to give you guys a sample of this show. And as soon as we cross that threshold, I'll drop the full episode and we'll get to work on having monthly podcast episodes for you guys. Nice, long, in-depth discussions. You're going to love it. It turned out really nicely. The intro and outro music is great. It's like an extended version of our YouTube intro outro. The podcast artwork is beautiful. Everybody on the team loves it. So enjoy this sample and I'll talk to you right afterwards.
If they had switched to throw and jump, I think that would have been an improvement.
I gotcha. Simeon, you love throwing stuff, though. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So Scott would make fun of me because, you can go into the menu and drop a weapon or whatever, but I would never just drop a weapon if I could. And, I mean, this leads into user interface problems, which, I mean, we can talk about that now, is that it's a pain to drop weapons, and so I just throw them. I don't need a weapon, I just throw it, and Scott would just laugh every single time because it's like, so you're supposed to drop the weapon, but it's just like, why do that? Just chuck it.
That makes, you know what, I didn't even think about that. That makes a lot of sense.
Simeon would avoid going into the menu because he would just use the quick menus and then have it equipped and throw it. And it just looked really funny to me, like I don't need this old thing anymore, and chuck it. But yeah,
honestly, that's my preferred way of doing it because there's just something cathartic about it. It's just like, get out of here. It's just
rusty sword. Bye.
Yep.
What I would have done if I were a developer. So I understand why they didn't do this, but it loses focus because they give you 2 or 3 major quests when you get there. And you kind of get in this state of decision paralysis, the left door or the right door thing that Scott was talking about earlier. I wasn't really sure, do I want to go regain my memories or do I want to go after the divine beasts or some combination of the two?
Yep.
So, again, I understand why they did it this way, but I think if I was in charge, I would have had it so that the divine beasts were one half of the game and then you'd have after you get all of those, it's like, now it's time to get your memories back.
Yeah, I would have appreciated that. The whole memory thing, when I saw that there's like 12 pictures of places that I had to revisit, and I looked at the size of my map, I was like, no way am I ever going to find these. So I just pretty much ignored it. And I enjoyed the cutscenes when they appeared, when I would beat a divine beast or something like that.
There's a really easy way to find them. You have to go to stables, and you'll find the painter dude, and he'll take a look at it, and it's like, oh yeah, I know where that place is, and then he'll point
really?
you off. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
You have to do the fairy quest for him first, but...
Okay, I can do that.
The guy with the easel set up in the stables, he'll tell you basically directly where they are.
That's much better. Okay. All right, so that's a little tidbit of what the Two Button Crew podcast is going to be with your guys' help. So I'm really looking forward to launching this show. Thank you so much, guys. Again, Two Button Crew is ad-free. There are no ads on this YouTube channel, and there are no ads in the podcast. So everybody who goes to our Patreon page and signs up to help us there really makes the world of difference for us. So the rest of this week's content is going to be actually salvaged footage from the disaster week where we thought we had lost all those computer files. We actually got them back. So some really funny episodes were recorded. We got those files recovered, and you're going to see those tomorrow through Friday. And you'll have the podcast to listen to somewhere in there, hopefully. We really appreciate each member of the crew. You guys are just the best. You are seriously the best. So have a great day.